If you are fed up of losing and gaining the same 10 pounds over and over again, listen up. Because what if eating clean, cutting carbs, and excessive amount of calories were the reason you actually weren't losing weight in the first place? Because I did all those things and saw absolutely no change in my weight. Until I made these 3 changes which fixed everything and helped me lose 20 pounds in just 8 weeks. I'm Dan and I've spent the last 8 years coaching men and women just like you to lose weight, feel great, and keep it off for good. So if that's something you feel like you need a helping hand with, be sure to like the video and subscribe. Because in this video, I'm going to show you what those 3 things are and how they helped me lose 20 pounds in just 8 weeks. So you can do the exact same. The first thing I changed was how I logged my food. See, I was doing it all wrong and chances are you're doing the same thing I was doing. I'd either track my calories as I went through the day or I tracked my calories at the end of the day after I'd finished all my meals, which ended up creating 2 massive problems. Number 1, if I tracked as I went through the day, I could easily be in the mood for something a little higher in calories or a little lower in protein, which meant that most days I was either over my calories or under my protein, or a mix of both. The second problem came if I tracked my calories at the end of the day, because the reality is at that point in the day, it didn't really matter if I had tracked my calories or not, because I'd already eaten everything I was going to eat that day. So if I was miles over my calorie target, there was quite literally nothing I could do about it. So I needed to figure out a way to track my calories and protein, but in a way that had me actually sticking to the numbers I'd set for myself. So I started pre-logging my calories. Every evening before bed, I'd whip out my FitnessPal and pre-log my breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the next day. That way I knew exactly what I was eating. I had total control over my calorie and protein intake, and if I pre-logged and my numbers were off, I could go back in the app, adjust my portion sizes, and make sure my calories and protein were pretty bang on. So that all I had to worry about was when I was going to have those meals the next day. This alone had so much to do with my own weight loss, and it's something I get my own clients to do every single day. It is that bloody helpful. Now I understand to pre-log your calories and protein, you need a calorie and protein target to actually aim for. So I've left the link to my free calorie calculator in the description below. Just click it, slap your details in, and you'll have the exact calories and protein you need for fat loss in less than 2 minutes. Now pre-tracking my calories was all well and good, but it wasn't the sole thing that allowed me to lose 20 pounds in just 8 weeks. These next 2 points are equally as important, and I reckon the second point might catch you off guard a little bit. The second thing I changed was how I actually weighed myself. Before, I would weigh myself every week on a Sunday morning, something I also reckon you're doing too. But this only made things worse. You see, I was doing everything you're told you need to do to lose weight. I was hitting my steps, I was tracking my calories, and sweating my little man tits off in the gym. So as a result, I expect my weight to drop every single week. But some weeks my weight dropped, and others it actually went up, which wasn't just frustrating, but bloody confusing, because I was doing everything you're meant to do. So on paper, my weight should have been down every Sunday when I jumped on the scales. But that wasn't until I learned that your weight fluctuates every single day, and it has nothing to do with body fat. Stress, poor sleep, carbs, more salt, to name a few common factors, all show up on the scales in the form of water retention and undigested food in your gut. So on any given day, your weight can fluctuate up and down. So how do we fix that? Well, when you're in a calorie deficit, which you can work out by clicking the first link in the description and downloading my calorie calculator, your body fat will start dropping slowly. So your weight from body fat will also drop slowly. But the other things in your body like food and water will cause your weight to go up and down day to day. So fat loss isn't linear, it's like this downward zigzag motion. So when I changed to weighing myself daily, I could see those fluctuations in real time. And then I could take those daily weigh-ins and find out my weekly average. It meant that from week 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, even though my weight was fluctuating day to day, because I was then able to work out my weekly weight average, I actually started to see something different. My average weight was dropping week to week, despite some days weighing heavier than I did the week before. It meant I no longer shit the bed when my weight fluctuated because I knew exactly why it happened. And when I started working out my weekly average weight, it kept dropping. So now my food logging has been fixed and how I track my weight is also sorted. But without this final step, I would have continued to lose and gain the same 10 pounds over and over again. And it's probably why you are too. So what is that third and almighty step? Step 3 was give myself a daily non-negotiable. You see, before every diet, I gave myself the same usual pep talk. Come on, Dan, no more fucking about, this is the one. Famous last words, eh? But then, just like every other diet attempt, life happened. I'd lose motivation, the odd social event would come around, or my girlfriend would suggest a takeaway. And what normal person goes, what's that? Chinese on a Wednesday? Ew. No. I was balls deep in that sweet and sour chicken. And then one thing not going to plan led to another, and by the end of the week I had a few missed workouts, more days than not where my calories were through the roof, but I tell myself the same bullshit that I'd do better next week. So to fix this, I set myself a daily non-negotiable. And for me, it was just a morning walk. That was my daily non-negotiable, where no matter how I felt, I had to get it done. And it was something so low effort and easy to do, it meant the bar to entry was so low, meaning I'd no real excuse to not do it. And as humans, we like little wins. When we do something right, we feel that little win. And it spurs us on to do more things of a similar similar nature. The simple act of going for a walk before work made me want to succeed. It made me want to stick to my calories. It made me want to do my daily weigh-ins, and it made me want to do the usual little things I did want to do when motivation just fucked off. It was these 3 steps that made weight loss so much easier for me, and they're the reason I managed to lose 20 pounds in 8 weeks and keep it off for good. And if you want a simple step-by-step approach to make your next fat loss attempt the last, then click the second link in the description to download my free fat loss guide, where I break down 5 really simple steps you need to follow to shift that weight once and for all. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please leave it a like, it helps me reach more people who need this kind of content. And if you really found it helpful, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any videos in the future. I will see you in the next one.